back at it. Ahsoka, chapter 5. Big time. We got to see a lot of good stuff, but let me introduce my co-host. To my left, I got.
It's your boy Shooter, man. Follow us on IG at Kulture, at @Kulture_studios, and at Kulture Radio, man. If y'all like what y'all see, hit the button below, subscribe to the channel, comment, and like what you see.
To my right.
Got your boy Moses. We back. You can follow me at Moses_time on Instagram and Moses_time media. All coming soon.
So we start off, man. First thing we get to see is Anakin Skywalker. Before we even jump in, man, I need my drink, bro. 13 minutes. It was more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I need my drink.
Facts.
I need
Facts. Like I said something to him.
We both said, nah, he wasn't gonna have more than 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, and it was 13 minutes on screen.
On screen time. I definitely got you.
He got a lot of screen time. He got that.
Nah, but they had to though, bro, because there wouldn't be no Ahsoka without Anakin. That's a master. So let's talk about that, man. What you liked the most from what you saw from Anakin in the episode, Moses?
I like that we saw the range of Anakin, and we saw Anakin from the Clone Wars, like right before it all happened. Like the bits of Anakin that we didn't see before, and the struggles that he had to train a Padawan and impart that knowledge onto him, and that tether between him and the dark side. I like a lot of what we got. The action, I like his lightsaber stances. We'll get into all of it, but Anakin was dope in this. The best part about it is that we got pieces of the Clone Wars.
What about you, Shooter? What you like from what we've seen from Anakin in this episode?
Yeah, I definitely like that we got pieces of the Clone Wars. I definitely like when she was in the water, how she was kind of going back into her memories of kind of what was happening. It's almost like a crossbreed. Mm-hmm. Like they kind of crossbred the scenes of her training and her going further in her training and finishing up to, to where she was at. I definitely liked the way they transitioned from the last episode and Anakin stepping up to coming right into that same scene. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they left us and then they put that scene towards the end. Like they came right back with that scene right away. And I was digging the whole fight scene between her and Anakin. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. We got to see Rex. How you feel about seeing Rex?
Felt good about seeing or hearing Rex, I guess. But yeah, the clones were dope. The way how they did it was pretty good, with the foggy background. We didn't really need to see much. We got a lot of exposition on where we were. But I could have gotten a bit more, and fighting. We got a lot from Ahsoka in the flashbacks, but we didn't really get much from the clones going on in the background.
That's true. Now, the good question I thought about earlier today, I want to ask both of you guys. Hayden Christensen, best, Anakin, best Darth Vader. Do we think that the role that he played in Ahsoka was better than the role that he played in Obi-Wan? Because some people say the best role that he's ever played was when he told Obi-Wan, "I'm the one that killed Anakin." See, that scene when they fought and how he acted in the whole Obi-Wan scene. Does this scene with Anakin top the scene that we saw in
you lost me when he fought.
Yeah. So he's been in two recent.
Obi-Wan chopped off his legs. You talking about?
No, I'm talking about the recent scenes of it. So we're talking about recent. We haven't seen Hayden Christensen since
he was in
the Revenge of the Sith. Since Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So then we saw him once in the Obi-Wan series, and we saw him once in Ahsoka. Now, what people don't know is that he hasn't done any he hasn't had any acting roles until these two roles that he did. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking, which role was he better at? Was he better when he was in Vader's suit, or when he was in the timeline with him and Ahsoka?
What was he doing this whole time? I don't know what he was doing.
He was out of work, man. He was unemployed. It was COVID, PPP. He was out of work.
If I know his agent, Moses, I'll tell you. If I know his agent, I would tell you. All I got to ask you is which role was
this back? Well,
that might have been him fumbling the bag.
Nah, he's all right. He's back now. We didn't. I would say before, because we still haven't really gotten that much from him now. But I would say he's matured as an actor. But they really aged him back either way, so he basically looks the same. So you really just have to go how you feel off in performances. I would say that the previous ones, including Clone Wars, would be better. Because he did the voice acting for Clone Wars too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Shooter?
Yeah, I say before. I think the acting was good given that he was so far removed from the role, you know what I'm saying, and hasn't been in that role in a long time. For him to come back and get right to it was great, but I don't think we've really seen enough of it. And honestly, like, you could really see the age difference. They tried their best to make him look younger like that, young Anakin, but that was 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
You see what I'm saying? It's computer technology is a motherfucker, man, but shit.
I say if I had to choose, I'd choose Obi-Wan, only because one good thing that we saw in the scene with him and Ahsoka was when he was chasing her down, you see one view of him as Anakin, you see another view of him as Vader. But in that fight with him and Obi-Wan in the end, when Obi-Wan slashed open his face, and you saw one side of him, when you saw the light of the Force, when Obi-Wan was saying, I'm sorry, and he says, you never killed Anakin Skywalker. I didn't. He had this evil smirk on his face. And then whenever you see him, and you get to see that evil in his eyes, the red in his eyes, is worse than what you see in Palpatine. But hey, Moses don't feel what I'm saying, but it's
well, no, I get what you mean. Anakin got that hate in his eyes.
I mean, because you got to remember, you had the same scene in the Clone Wars. And in the Clone Wars, when he fought Ahsoka slashed open his mask. And it was on the left side, and you saw the evil in his eyes. In Clone Wars, when they fought.
But she recognized him. She recognized him, though.
No, it wasn't. It was the left side. One side was the right, and one side was the left.
Of course.
No, that's how Lucas made it, where one side will be where Obi-Wan slashed is one side, and where she slashed was another side. Because it was two stages of his life that they were in. You have to remember, Obi-Wan raised him like that's his son.
I'm pretty sure she broke off this side and then turned and looked at her.
Well, I just watched it today, and literally in the commentary under it says one side was the left and one side was the right. That's
so one side was Vader and one side was Anakin.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
The light and the dark.
Pretty much.
Yin and the yang.
So we also got to see, I forgot his name, you know the son's name. Who has the
Jason.
Force. Jason, we got to see Jason, and he actually used the Force. How do you feel about that one scene now?
No, I like Jason. I like that they incorporating him in. I didn't know that we was gonna get so much of the kid, but he's not a bad actor, and he's doing what he can. And I'd like to see where they go from him. Probably ends up at Luke's school.
What you thought about the scene with Jason shooting?
I mean, I think the only scene that was really relevant was him kind of going on an edge and
he found him.
Finding her with that force within him. But I mean, aside from that, I don't even really know if he's relevant in the Star Wars universe unless they planning for something later on down the line. Don't get me wrong, it was a great scene of him saying, Mom, you don't hear that? You know what I'm saying? Lightsabers and all that type of stuff. Like, that was probably the best part. But from the episode previous to that, when they introduced him, and I'm like, he don't really have any relevance. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's something future down the line that they got going on to spin off or something, but as of right now,
they're trying to build it. They're trying to build it, I think. But it's yet to be seen anything that's not gonna grab our attention to be taken in mind. But it's Kanan's kid, so I like to see him every time I do.
So we also got to see history because Ahsoka went from Ahsoka Tanning to Ahsoka the White. How you feel?
Like getting out the gray.
How you feel about that shoe?
it don't really matter to me, man. Like, because sometimes I think it's just really almost like, yo, alright, she changed the uniform. She put the white uniform instead of the black uniform. I think for me, I like them to contribute more to the characteristics of the character and not just the uniform. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, meaning that when she comes out with the white uniform or the light gray, like, they have to show a more of a lighter side of the Force than her using the dark powers of the Force. You know what I'm saying? Like when she had to fight in the woods with the mercenaries. You know what I'm saying? We see that she used the dark powers of the Force when she used the mercenary as the shield. You see what I'm saying? So now moving forward, for it to really make sense, they would have to not have her do those things in the future, because those things we know represent the dark side of the Force.
True.
But I don't think she's trying to be like a Jedi though. I think she's trying to be like her own pa in a sense, because she left the order.
We understand that, but I think she's definitely trying to be a Jedi. Because why would it be in the back of her a subconscious mind of finishing her training? Her training is Jedi training. It's not Mandalorian mercenary training. It's Jedi training.
Well, I think her finishing her training was a matter of her finding balance within herself so that she could move further within the Force. She felt like I don't even think that it was a matter of her not finishing her training. I think it was a matter of her realizing that it's not a matter of her not finishing her training, or it's a matter of she taking the next step and leaving her master to move forward and create what she needs to do now. She might create another version.
She been left her master.
Yeah,
her master. I think she been done with that.
But she also felt a lot of responsibility. Like she was the reason that because she left Anakin is why he fell to the dark side. So that was another thing that was on her mind as well. So that's another thing that plays out in this episode when he's keep going at it back at it again with the lessons like, what did you learn? What did you learn? And she's like, I don't understand. And he's like, again, from the top. And then he's like, the whole message is you don't have to keep chasing after the tail of Anakin Skywalker, because Anakin Skywalker, if you keep running down that path, it will end in darkness. You realize behind Anakin in the realm between darkness, his path ended, cut off when you see behind him. Ahsoka's one changed, had channels, it could go wherever it needed, but Anakin's one stopped.
You lost me. What are you talking about?
When they were in the underwater space, the realm between realm space.
But she wasn't in the realm between realms.
The space where Ahsoka was.
That's what I'm saying. But that wasn't the realm between
realms.
That
she
was just
the reflection. That was a vision.
It was a vision. Yeah. Because she was actually in the water.
So the reflection of where they were, her paths changed. So they diverged behind her. So the path that she was standing on, when you looked at from Ahsoka's angle behind her, you could see the path winding and changing. But behind Anakin, it just stops.
I can't agree with that because they started on one side, and then as the fight went on, Anakin was on the other side.
And then he cut where she stood.
Mm-hmm.
And that cut the path and sent them into the flashback.
They got back on the same path when they fought at the end.
And then at the end, what direction was she in? She was with
even then though, to some extent, there was her choosing a Jedi because he wanted her to kill him. Remember, they were fighting in that scene, and he says, "What do you choose? Are you going to choose?" And he was going.
He said, "Life or death."
Life or death. Life or death.
Yeah, because if she chose death, she would have chosen the dark side. Because he would have gone on the same path that Anakin took.
But that's the same point where he's saying is the Jedi side is the choose life.
But I wouldn't say that it's the Jedi side. I would just say it's more the light side of the Force, not just a Jedi. Because you don't have to be a Jedi to just be on the light side of the Force. I don't think she wants to be a Jedi. I think she wants to probably rebuild the Order, but not the same.
Well, to some extent, that's partly true, but the Jedi is the light side of the Force. Now, their rules may have gotten strict, and Luke has already said that it's okay to have personal attachments. But what I'm saying is to choose the light is Jedi, and to choose the dark is Sith. That's how the world is.
Those are the basic principles.
That's the basic principles. She may not have chosen all the Jedi orders, but the whole point was that he wanted her to choose the light side over the dark side, and that's why she became Ahsoka the White. Am I right?
Well, I guess cleansing the dark side from her, but at the same time, I still don't feel like it's just...
And she still want to take on a Padawan, so...
Yeah, and even with that point too, that whole Padawan training comes from the Jedi, so that's obvious as well.
Everything that she's gonna do is gonna come from the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. So there's still some parts of her that's gonna be a part of the Order. But let's rank that fight. Where do we rank the fight between her and Anakin as far as what we've seen in movies, in series? Is that one of the best fights we've seen?
I can rank it through this series. I can say that it's probably the second best one I've seen in the series so far.
What about all the movies and stuff what we've seen?
All the movies, I still think Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and
Darth Maul.
Maul is one of the best, and we also have Dooku and Anakin.
Okay, so those are your best. What about you, Shoot? Well, I know Shoot is
yeah, but I'm not even gonna rank all my top ones, but I don't even think it's really up there because I don't think it was a long enough fight, and I don't think it was a realistic fight. I think it was more of a
Time constraint.
yes, it was more of a kind of like a dream. You know what I'm saying? And it pretty much ended with he cut her path. Then she dreamed about them when they was in Clone Wars, and then they came back to fight again. And I think, like she said, I choose life, and then she cut the path. It was good, but I don't think it ranks up there with the actual like fight scenes. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like she did good. I think that she portrayed the aging of Ahsoka well, like the maturity that she had as a kid, and then the way how she acted as a kid, and the maturity that she had in the second flashback. Because the first one that she was with Anakin, and in the second one she wasn't with Anakin anymore. Because in the second flashback is the same time when Anakin was doing, I think, Revenge of the Sith. When he was up in space and him and Obi-Wan were fighting. So he was up in space and she was on the ground. So, and that was right before the whole incident as well, when she was going to leave the order.
I think she did a great job, man. I think she did a really good job in acting. I think they picked not only a good actor, but they picked someone that depicts her looks. You know what I'm saying? As a younger Ahsoka.
All right, what about the scene when she came out of the water? And because we know Ahsoka Tandon is very good in speaking to animals and speaking to things of that nature. How you guys felt about her being able to speak? Because you got what you wanted in that episode, Moses.
Whales.
See the whales. So how did you feel about that scene, that her talking to the whales through the Force, like, and going in the mouth of the whale?
I saw it coming. I felt it. I saw it coming. It was satisfying. It was very satisfying to watch. And the scale of these whales is insane, bro. It's like the fleet had to move out their way. You know, like, move, bitch, get out the way, because they come. And the way how they took off, it was insane. I love the biology of these whales. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how the big one just stood there in the middle of the air. It wasn't moving, nothing, no tentacles flapping or nothing. Like,
She was talking to it though.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's happening? Nobody's moving. How this thing just staying there? Is it like gas or how is this thing just floating?
I mean, I bugged out just seeing the energy from their tentacles before they went into like hyperspace.
Yeah.
Like when it went blue, like they opened up wide. It was almost like it was a whale octopus. Like it opened up wide, and then you see the blue energy.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? And then
I'm telling you, I was watching it on my computer, and there was a Jamaican bro beside me, and when he turned excited, he's like, "What? What? Is that a whale octopus? Whale octopus?" And I died. I was going insane.
What you think about the way that they put together the game plan? Because coming from the last episode, we was trying to kind of piece together and figure out how would they figure out the destination of you know what I'm saying?
Well, we know the Force moves through everything, so the Force is like a GPS. And so who better to follow the GPS than the whales?
Oh yeah,
because the whales know where they're going. So that's definitely dope that she was able to figure out a way to get there, and everybody was questioning, well, how you gonna find it? How you gonna find it? And Ahsoka, because she just had that fight with Anakin, she was more in tune with the Force, so she could speak to the whales. That's when she became Ahsoka the wife.
Absolutely. Not only that though, is she tapped into the Force when she picked up the half of the map, and she was like, Sabine had this last time I seen her. She had the Force echo, and she kind of heard the conversation with Hera, because Hera was saying like, yo, she thinks she dead, like, yo, she dead, and she's like, nah, because Ahsoka really know, like, they didn't force her to go, like, she went willingly, she wasn't a captive.
So we got 3 episodes left, 6, 7, and 8. What do we expect from episode 6, Moses?
I want more of Ahsoka's abilities. I want her to come into her Force powers and like do more stuff that we're like, all right, so this is what Ahsoka does, you know, because we know what Obi-Wan does. Obi-Wan cuts people's arms off, and he'll trick you with the Force and stuff. Anakin, we know what he did. He killed everybody. Yeah. But Ahsoka, we want to get like her cut out in the mold. I want her to make a little space, and I want to see some Ezra now. Let's get to Let's get to the other side of this goddamn galaxy. Let's see what's happening over there. What has been happening? I need more action now. The fleet is out the way. A couple of those ships should have blew up because I don't know why you're sending the whole fleet now. When we asked for all of this stuff before, I know you didn't send anybody, but you're sending everybody just to come and take these few people back. Nah, bro, pick up the bodies. That's what you need to do.
Facts.
What about you, Shu?
I think we're gonna get all that and then some. I think these last 3 episodes is gonna be high octane. I think we're gonna get Ezra. I think we're gonna get Thrawn. I think we're gonna get some great fight scenes because remember we still got Baylan Skoll over there. We still got Shin Hati. So we still gonna see a duel of somebody somewhere. I think we definitely gonna get more of Ahsoka's strength and powers because I actually think we're gonna get another fight scene between her and Baylan Skoll.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because he got the best of her the first time.
Definitely.
I don't even think he's going to die in this series. But I think she's going to get the best of him. And maybe she may even realize he may even give her what his plan or his goal is. And it may be something that she may be willing to go with. Because even if we go back to Revenge of the Sith, where Dooku, I can't remember which one it was, when Dooku had Obi-Wan captive.
That was Clone Wars.
And he was telling him, he was saying, listen, man, like Qui-Gon, if he was here, he would have went with me. And he was like, yo, listen, what if I told you that a Sith Lord had control of the Senate and the Jedi too busy running around being politicians, that's why they blinded and all these type of things. So I think they're going to come back with that type of scenario where Ahsoka may have to make a decision because Baylan Skoll is going to maybe tell her some information to say, this is what I plan to do for the future of the whatever to exist. You know what I'm saying? And she may have to decide on, damn, do I believe him and go with it? Do I see his vision or do I just take it for what it's worth right now and say he's part of the evil side and done him?
So it's definitely going to be interesting because, I mean, when we look at it, they did say Homeboy was supposed to come back, but he died, Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna cast him for another. Like,
well, I don't think they're gonna kill off.
I don't think they're gonna recast him.
Yeah, they're not gonna kill off. I don't think they can kill off because everything's already been shot. They just released it.
I think they're gonna kill off his head.
Disney said they was gonna have him for something else before he died, and he just died now. They shot this months ahead of time.
Yeah. Whatever's gonna come out is already shot.
It's been shot. So yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's already been shot. Well, we'll see.
And we know with technology, you don't have to be alive for them to still cast you, man.
You don't have to be alive for them to kill you either.
All I know is I want AMW root beer canceled. That's what I want.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting. It could be disgusting, but it's gonna quench my thirst. It's gonna quench my thirst for the 13 minutes for Anakin Skywalker. But listen,
that's a nasty drink for some nasty opinions.
Hey, well, guess what? The opinion was right, so it's gonna be quenching my thirst. We definitely know that we're gonna get some Ezra and Thrawn in these next couple episodes. So Moses finally got his wish. They gave me Anakin first, 13 minutes. So now let's see if we can give Moses 13 minutes of Ezra in this next episode. My bet is, do you want to make another bet?
No, because I didn't make the first.
I got a witness right here, man. Hey,
this guy, bro.
You can pull it up.
Hey, listen. Ace caught Moses slipping, man. He ain't see the spoiler, so he was thrown off guard to know how many minutes Anakin was in the episode.
I tapped Moses' phone and found his spoiler, and I watched it before he did it. So I had to get him back. But listen, any final words, Moses? What you got? Final words for us?
Final words. We look forward to the next episode. It's coming out soon, and I'm just waiting for it. We got set up. I don't think we're gonna come back to Hera. I don't think we're gonna come back to majority of the stuff in this side of the galaxy for now. And if we do, then make use of it, please. This episode was pretty good. Just keep the stride on going for the next 3.
What about you, Shu?
Yeah, man. I think these last few episodes, man. I think they're gonna ramp it up. I think it's gonna be high powered. Like I said previously, though, I think they're gonna leave us in the final episode wanting more. I think it's gonna be one of those type of endings. I think we still gonna see more of her because they got the son so involved now that I think, she's going back to be not court-martial per se, but she got to go in front of the committee to see if they're gonna strip her of her command or what. So I still think we're gonna get, even though it's on that side of the galaxy, I still think we're gonna get some of that just to keep us in tune with what's going on over here, what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely. All right, man. Shooter, get people your social media.
y'all know how to find us, man. At Tree Culture, at Tree Culture _studios, and at Tree Culture Radio, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tap into In Tune with the Culture. Catch us on Tree Culture Radio, live365.com/Tree Culture Radio, man. Every Tuesday at 7 to get the audio from all of our podcasts.
Facts. Moses, social media.
That's Moses_time with a Y instead of an I, and Moses Time Media. You can find me there.
Definitely, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Ace Lombardi and letting you know that in October we got a surprise for you. Episodes gonna be longer, but just keep watching so you'll see what the surprise is. Stay in tune with the culture.
And also hit them notification buttons, man. So every time we drop new content, y'all get the notification. All the subscribers on the channel, man.
Facts.
We thank y'all for the support, and we love y'all. Cause without y'all, we wouldn't be us.
Facts.
I'll point like a politician.
You see him.